back after the Jets Pizza invite down in Saginaw. A much bigger meet than the last one. A lot more competition, some more league teams in there. Kind of your thoughts on how things went for the Cats.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say overall, some great performances. Some good for them to see what's out there. The teams that are strong. I mean, Wayne State's strong, Saginaw Valley's strong, of course, and then some of the other teams. But we had some great performances, and Crystal, of course, and we had a couple athletes do the pentathlon, which is the only one they'll do before the conference championship. So it was a chance to kind of run through that and see how that went. And Crystal did well. She had had hit the provisional mark in the event, which is great. She also had a PR in the high jump. Long jump. Sorry.
Too many jumps.
Too many jumps. Yeah, so that was really exciting, and actually her long jump puts her in one of the top in the conference too, and you can count that as the long jump score in the whole conference. So that was good. And then just across the board, I think we had some good performances. We were missing a couple athletes. We had a couple sick, and then of course Crystal didn't do the open hurdles because she had done that big event. We have a few people with little injuries, so we didn't have everybody, but definitely happy with how it went across the board. And our distance kids did well. I mean, Maddie, our freshman, that was a really strong competition in the 3K with a really stacked field and a lot of upperclassmen, and she held her own and ran really well there. So that was exciting to see.
Well, Coach, like you mentioned, another really exciting performance from your freshman runner, Maddie, there. We talked to Coach Makazak earlier in the year, and he had mentioned he felt like the jump, at least in basketball, the jump from your freshman year to your sophomore year is the biggest one for your growth as a player and as an athlete. Where do you feel that is for like a track runner or a distance runner like Maddie for cross country? And in the sense, because she's shown a lot of promise in both of those avenues this season.
Yeah.
So like for a track runner, where do you feel like that biggest window is where she could potentially just blow up?
Yeah, I think another year, and she's running have some great performances, and I think, in her, she wants to hit that provisional mark, and she wants to, but I've been telling her just to be patient, and just get the experience and in these races. And also like this, she did a double of 5K, 3K, which is not an easy double, back to back, day to day, and that's what she'll do at conference too. But this time, just for her to test that out and see how it goes, and then every race, every time you put on a bib in any event, it's really, you get the experience to take forward, and that's what we talk about a lot, is really, trying to do that, use that experience to go forward. But yeah, for her, and also another year of endurance with distance runners, it's like building that endurance year to year, So, I see great things for her in her career because, as a freshman, she's already, so far ahead. So it'll be fun to see, what she can do. And she's already doing all the little things, and she's already, came in with a good base. And so it's, the sky's kind of the limit with her. I think she could be one of our top distance runners ever here at NMU if things keep going the way it's going. But then the other, the rest of the group too, watching from her. And then she has some upperclassmen that are not as fast, but they have the experience. So, she's learning from them, and, they're great. It's a great group. They just really support each other and work together. And same with across the board, the sprinters are learning from the upperclassmen and the hurdlers and even the throwers. So it's a good group right now. I think we have a really good team atmosphere, which will continue to make a difference in the rest of the season.
Now, one of the hot words that you mentioned a couple times there is provisional mark. Like you said, Crystal, had to hit that in the pentathlon, which is awesome. And I have to imagine that granted, I'm not a runner. I will run if something's chasing me. But it's like, I have to imagine that in a sport and in a situation like this, that's kind of like the figure looming off in the distance. Is there any, I have to imagine it feels pretty good to just hit that right at the beginning of the year, so then you don't feel like it's kind of looming. Is that true? Do you feel like if you hit that mark, it takes a lot of pressure off?
Yeah, she's really happy with that, and now she can look at, we look at all the different events and see which one she can, improve upon, and like the 800 is one, and she makes a little difference there, and she's gonna, not only hit that provisional but move up. So she's on that list, but really to make it to nationals, you have to not only hit that provisional mark, but have a pretty good mark because they keep this running list, so she might be I'm not sure, I didn't look today, but, she might be like number 17 in the country. But you have to more people will hit that mark and then kind of get pushed down. So you have to be like in the top 16 in the country by the end of the year to make it. But yeah, it takes the pressure off, and now she can just work on the different events and then put it all together at conference and hopefully not only hit that mark but hit it pretty high, so she has a good chance at going to nationals. And same with like her in the hurdles, but also in the long jump. She's only 2 centimeters off the provisional mark in the long jump. And then Elise Wolfrath already hit the provisional mark in the hurdles, but she was sick this weekend. So, now she'll be ready to come back this next meet to see if she can lower that mark. So, yeah, it's kind of exciting.
So this weekend, W.C.W. meet here in the Superior Dome. Can you kind of give us your thoughts, your expectations for this meet as the Cats welcome in some more tough competition?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be great. It's the first time these two teams have never come up here, so for a track meet. So it's kind of exciting to have them, and it's really a competitive meet. I mean, we started this a few years ago just with the 3 teams, and so to have it here is exciting, but also that they are going to bring their full teams, and they're super excited to come up here and see the dome, see the area. Hopefully it's going to be a little cold on Friday, but not, it's cold down there too. More snow for sure. But yeah, it'll be great to see what we can do against that competition. We actually have a really fast track, so we could have some really fast performances, some really great performances. We're getting it all set up. And all the teams, this meet especially, some meets like the last meet, you try to score points, but really it's more about getting ready for the conference championship. So you're testing your kids at different events and kind of. But this one we do that, but we'll stack it a little bit, and it's really a team thing. So we're all 3 teams are going to try to, see who can win the meet because we have a point system, and so it'll be good. It'll be really exciting. I think every event will be strong and will be fun to watch. So we're super excited to have them here.
Well, like you said, Coach, this is the first time for these teams coming up to the Dome, and home field advantage is something that's talked about a lot in sports. I'd be interested how that translates to like a track and field meet. Do you feel like there is, what is the importance or value, if any, of home field advantage for an event like this?
Yeah, I think it's the same way. I mean, even though a 200-meter track is a 200-meter track, but I think, we train on this track all winter, and, our athletes have had the opportunity to, they just know the atmosphere, what it's like, training in the dome. And so for them, I think the other teams will come and be like, whoa, this place is huge, but also it'll be different, I think, for them. Whereas, we'll just feel right at home and just like it's a day of training, but yet it's a competition. So that'll probably bring the nerves down a little bit, for sure. And then we're gonna have all the I'm sure sounds like a lot of families and a lot of locals are coming to watch. So it should be it'd be great for our athletes, because a lot of times, they don't get the locals to watch them, or some of the families downstate will come, of course, but this will be really fun.
Looking forward to it.
One other thing, we are having a community at the beginning of the meet. We're going to have at 10 o'clock, we're having an all-comers mile for the community that anybody in the community and the high school kids can sign up for.
Sweet.
And so that starts at 10 o'clock, and then our meet starts at 11, and then 11 for the field events, 12 for the running events. But so it could be a good high school. We'll see how many sign up, and then we'll put them in heats. It could be boys, girls, men, women, or depending on how many, but they'll get because people are always asking to come get a timed event on the track, so we're adding it in. And then we're going to do a 55-meter kids stash